What's up guys? So crypto gaming bull run. In this video I'm gonna give you my top 5 pick of crypto gaming projects out there. Right now it's obviously the end of 2021. We're looking back, we're reflecting, we gained a lot, learned a lot in 2021, but it is time to get ready and focus on our plays that we're having in 2022. What are the things we're gonna look for? What are the things we're gonna invest in? So I just mentioned crypto gaming bull run, right? And I want to put it into perspective, comparing it to Bitcoin for a second. There's been a lot of speculation of whether we're still in a bull run or not, whether it's gonna, if we're getting close to a bear market or not, right? People are having that debate a little bit. So if you put it into perspective, you look at the overall Bitcoin chart, it looks like this, right? So if you then compare it, or if you look a little bit closer to the 2018 crash, I guess, it looks like this, right? So if you're in 2018, you've invested somewhere here at the top. You were one of the guys that invested somewhere here in June, July, at 16 to 20, well, close to $20,000. You were the stupid one, right? People thought that you were crazy. They were laughing at you because you were losing money. After that, you invested here. After that, it crashed down. And honestly, you did lose a lot of money. If you even invested here all the way at the peak, just below 20K, not a little bit later on, after that, you've lost most of your money back at 3K, right? You lost 17 grand on buying in one Bitcoin. So sure, at that time, you kind of feel like, you're stupid and you made a bad move. And it was a bear market at this phase, right? This was supposed to be a bear market. After that, it didn't really go up for a long period of time anymore. But if you then zoom out again and you did buy in at that peak here, but you would have just kept it, you just didn't really get FOMOed out, you didn't really panic sell at this stage, you just keep holding your Bitcoin. Well, you're not the crazy one anymore today, but you're the lucky one, right? You're the one that invested into Bitcoin at a very early stage. Oh my God, did you invest in Bitcoin at such an early stage? If you bought three, four, five, here at this point, you probably lost like 40 or 80K if you had five of them. But at this stage here now, if you have five of them, if you still kept that five that you here, you paid 100 grand for it to get five at this stage. Now, even though it's been going down a little bit again already, right now you would have $250,000, which is a pretty awesome gain in 3 years' time, right? So even at the peak, it was even more. Put it into perspective, there's always going to be ups and downs, highs and lows. But as for the crypto gaming bull run, I believe we're in a very, very early stage and there's a lot of gain left to be made, right? So that's what I want to focus on a little bit more. What are we going to focus on in that crypto gaming scene? What are our top picks? Um, Obviously, everybody knows Axie Infinity, and everybody knows probably Decentraland as well, and the Sandbox, right? Axie Infinity, Sandbox are the Bitcoin and Ethereum of the whole crypto gaming scene out there, the most popular one, the most well-known ones. So I'm not gonna focus on these too much, but I will give you my top 5 pick of the ones I will be investing in over the next year. There's a lot more of them. There's a lot more to come in these gamings. There's probably gonna be a lot new projects coming through as well that are gonna be very awesome to invest in. But I've picked out a couple. So everybody knows Axie Infinity, right? As I said, I'm not gonna dive into it for too long, but this is the OG, the first ever setup play to earn game. People are making crazy amounts of money by participating, just by playing the game. Really, they're just having fun playing a game every single day, and they make a bunch of money on it, right? If you were one of the first ones to invest in it here, I think there's an article out there. If you invested $1,000 at the IDO of it, all the way at the start, somewhere here at the peak, it would have been worth $250,000 or maybe even more. So crazy amounts of money to be made here in Axie. I believe that there's still a lot of gain left to be made. So it's probably still a good one to invest in. They're having a lot of new things coming through, a couple of new announcements coming up. You're able to stake your Axie Infinity that you hold, even on Binance, which is very simple to do, right? Everybody knows Binance. You're able to stake your Axies for like 110 or 105, 115% APY. So you get a massive interest return on it as well. which is awesome, right? You go through all these the whole list in the gaming scene. There's a couple of ones I've picked out. UFO Gaming is one of them. Falcon Forge is another one. So we're having a closer look at all of these, right? But the whole crypto gaming scene itself has a lot of potential left. I want to quickly pick out this article here that I have, which is from Altura, which is one of the picks I have. So I'll get into that in a second. But it's about this sentence here. The Accenture has estimated the total value of the whole gaming scene, not crypto gaming scene, but the whole worldwide actual gaming scene, over $300 billion. That's not the crypto gaming scene, but the normal gaming scene. $300 billion, right? I think it's last year there were like 15 million new people coming through started gaming, so it's increasing day by day. Well, if we then look at the whole total market cap of the whole crypto gaming scene, it is $38.5 billion. So there's so much room left. I do believe we're gonna get to a point, not even too long from now, where the crypto gaming scene will overtake the actual gaming scene. Why would you play a normal game that's not earning you any money if you can play similar games that are earning you money, right? But that's a little speculation for later on, but at least it does show the total potential. All right, cool. We're getting into it. The first one I've picked out is Sandbox. So I did say I'm not going to get in too much depth of these, which I won't. Sandbox, like I said, is kind of the Ethereum out there compared to Axie Infinity being the Bitcoin. It has grown a lot already, but we almost can't live without it anymore in the crypto gaming scene. So right now it has a market cap of $5.5 billion. Sandbox functions as a virtual world where so many new crypto gamings out there, so many NFT projects out there that all buy virtual land in Sandbox. So for them to participate or to function as an NFT project or as a gaming crypto game, they need the Sandbox. So Sandbox is not going to go anywhere. They come up with a whole lot of new things in the future that's only going to increase its value even more. And because all these crypto gamings and all these NFT projects need Sandbox, you can only assume it's going to increase over time, right? Similar to Ethereum, so many projects are built on the Ethereum blockchain that we couldn't live without it anymore. So what is it? What is Sandbox? Well, as I said, it is like a virtual-based, blockchain-based virtual world where people can create, build, and buy their digital assets on. So the Sandbox is used by a whole lot of people already, where they buy land in their virtual world that they can use for their game, for events, for virtual concerts, and you name it. So it works with a couple of famous people, partners up with obviously Snoop Dogg, which has a really big stake in Sandbox. Adidas already, The Walking Dead, Atari. If you would open up the virtual land of Sandbox, you can see them having massive parts of land already. All right, cool. So that's the first one. As I said, I'm not gonna get into much depth on these two, but at least now you know. So next up we have Vulcan, right? Vulcan Forged, and this I think is an awesome project and is rated very, very low right now. So I'll get into the bad news straight away first, which you can either see as bad news or as good news. But Vulcan Forged recently got hacked and people lost their money because of it, which is why, as you can see, it dropped down massively, right? So Vulcan Forged is like a platform gaming studio. They have multiple games in place already. So it's not just a single game, but they have multiple gaming studio. They have like a gaming studio, one of the best ones out there, and they have multiple different games that you can play, like a play to earn setup. Market cap right now, $324 million. Fully diluted 800 if all coins were out there, were available. So you can see trading volume is going up again already. People were stopped trading a little bit, were skeptical because of the hack that was going on, right? So Vulcan Force is a block game studio and NFT marketplace. If we look at the first article I've opened here for you guys, it's about the bad news. So $100 million got stolen in Vulcan or Peer is their initial token from Vulcan Forge marketplace. People that were holding their tokens within the marketplace, that were holding the tokens themselves in their wallet, they got hacked and all their coins got stolen. Well, they did give people the money back, or in the process of giving everybody their money back, but it did scare a couple of people away, right? It's obviously not a good thing if $100 million can get stolen. They should have some form of protection, security in place to prevent anything like that from happening, right? So security breaches like this aren't new in the crypto world. Obviously, we do know that stuff like this can happen, but a lot more of these attacks are rapidly growing, which is a little bit scary, right? Obviously, you don't want to have your money stolen, and if it does happen, you do hope that the team behind it is gonna refund all the money back to you rather than leaving it like that. So one thing that they did, one thing that they've done pretty well, I think, is they straight away taken action on it. They changed the address, so all the tokens that were stolen weren't useful anymore. They couldn't be used. All the hackers that actually got the tokens, $100 million in tokens, end up having nothing. Everybody had to give the address, or everybody had to give the address where it was stolen. They got new coins airdropped to them. Plus, there was a shift where automatically you were transitioning. They were transitioning your tokens to the old address that it was on towards a new address with the new tokens in it already. So you didn't have to do anything for it, but it secured your tokens. It made the hackers' tokens useless, and everybody got refunded with the money. So they handled it pretty well. But what does that mean for us? If we look at the chart, it's obviously a very good buying opportunity. So right now, it is at $16. I bought in pretty early. I bought in somewhere here at around $13. I got in around $13. Sold it again with profit at around 22. My strategy usually is not to hold things for too long. I have a holding portfolio where I slowly transition more and more coins in. I have a little bit of Vulcan in there that I'm holding for the longer run, but I also sold a part of it that I wanted to trade with a little bit quicker. As you can see, at that time, that wasn't the best action of me, because they got listed on Binance. They got listed on Binance very, very quickly, which was awesome, of course. And there was a spike from going from 24 up until 46 roughly in a matter of seconds, really, so to speak. So obviously there was a massive drop there. I got FOMO a little bit. I was sad that I wasn't or that I didn't hold it when it ran up that much. But afterwards, as you can see, it dropped down massively. So here, somewhere here, the whole market started going down a little bit. Bitcoin went down a little bit. Vulcan followed, of course, as everybody else follows as well. Then the announcement came from the hack, and they dropped even more, which was a good buying opportunity here. So they fixed up a couple of things, and not too long after, there was another mistake made, another problem with the token address. People weren't able to withdraw, and people weren't able to deposit. There was some stuff going down, made the price drop even more, which happened right around here. Probably if you go to the 1 month, it happened around here not too long ago, right? So they've had a couple of setbacks, I guess. They've had to deal with a couple of setbacks, but overall the project is still very, very promising and has a lot of upside potential in the future. So if you look at the price, it is even lower right now than when the Binance listing came, and of course it is close to a 3x away from its all-time high. If this is gonna reach, or when this will reach the old all-time high again, there's a 3x in there from this point on. So even if it doesn't get to that point for a while, you know that the $30 or a 2x is pretty doable in a short period of time. But I think it has a lot of potential to hold for the longer term, to go through all these ups and downs with the crypto market or the crypto gaming market, that if we look at it in a 2-3 year plan, it's definitely going to go up, it's definitely going to go down, but overall in the longer term, I see that there's a lot of upside potential here, definitely hitting a new all-time high. So a minimum of 3x is definitely possible here. If we look at Vulcan, they have a couple of different games. So they have a couple of different playable games already, play to earn games that you can do to earn money with it. It looks pretty cool. One of these games, let's see if I have it open here already. One of these games kind of looks, it's like an MMORPG, kind of looks like World of Warcraft. I'm not a big gaming player myself. I'm obviously doing this for the money. But when I look at it, I do really like the look of the game out there. But we can probably look at the pictures here, which gives a clear image or clear idea of what the game is going to look like, or what the game does look like. It's out there already. So kind of looks like this. I played a game when I was younger, which is called, what was it called? Silk Road Online. It kind of gives me an idea of that. It was an MMORPG as well. Cool thing with it is if you like gaming, if you get stuck in it, obviously you get stuck in something like this for ages. You level up and you're never gonna get out of it again, which is what you want, because the longer you play, the more money you earn, and the more people play this for a longer term, the more money Vulcan itself will earn as well, which makes sense. Also, they have a marketplace in place where you buy NFTs and in-game products. So that's Vulcan first. As I said, I think it's a very good entry point. To me, I bought in a little bit more not too long ago, a couple of days back, and it's even dropped. I bought in at like 1780. It's dropped a little bit more. So to me, it only makes sense if we look at the expectations in a little bit of the longer run. All right, cool. And next up, we have Good Games Guild. So that's my next pick. Good Games Guild is obviously a gaming guild, right? So we know guilds within the gaming scene itself as a group of people doing quests and tasks together, etc., communicating with each other. When you're part of the same guild, it's a little bit different within the crypto gaming. When you're a guild, what it means is, let me see, what is the info? What it means, if you're a guild, it just means that, or a crypto guild allows people to use in-game assets when they're not really theirs, right? So it's like they have a certain economy going all around where they have people renting out or lending out their products, their NFTs, their in-game perks, etc., and then other people are able to use that in-game. So if you're not using the game yourself, but you do have an NFT for a certain specific one, then you can rent it out or lend it out, and then other people can use it. So that's one of the things that Good Games Guild focus on. They're also starting a crypto gaming launchpad, etc. So there's a couple of different things that they're focusing on. Right now, Good Games Guild's market cap is only 8 million. If you compare it to another gaming guild that's a little bit more established out there, that's been there for a little bit longer, you have Yield Guild Games, which has a crypto market cap, or has a market cap of 382 million. So you can see the potential that there's left for Good Games Guild out there, right? We're not gonna look into Good Games Guild games, but at Good Games Guild, so very low market cap. It's still fairly new. It has launched. Let's see if we can see it here exactly. Well, it launched not too long ago, a couple of months back, right? So very new. It has peaked at a very high level already. So right now sitting at $6.45. The peak was roughly at $15 or $16. So there's 1.5x, 150% gain in just to get back to its all-time high. A lot of projects that are brand new, they obviously have a massive run at the start and then slow down a little bit again already. But that's fine as long as the long-term vision is there. You can expect eventually the chart to move up again gradually. So that's what we're looking for. I don't necessarily want a too big of a massive pump upwards at the start and then a big drop down, because that kind of kills the momentum of the project. So this is fine. We have seen the potential in the short term already, and now it's just up to the project itself to continuously develop and therefore attract new investors, so that the chart will go up again, right? So if we look at the website, do we have the website here? No, we don't have the website here. What is this? All right, cool. Crypto venture capitals are making a big bet on gaming guilds. So before I get to the website of Good Game Guilds itself, we'll look into this for a second. Gaming guilds are becoming very popular, right? So here you see Youth Guild Games as well, right? They've had a funding round which developed quite a lot of money, or brought in quite a lot of money. But the cool thing is that game guilds provide gamers with the necessary funds and tools to experience a growing roster of play to earn. Well, we already know that all these crypto gamings, all these play to earn scenes, etc., they're growing and they're growing very, very fast. They're becoming worth quite a lot, and there's so many new games coming through. You would never be able to play all of them, obviously, but more than that, you would never be able to hold all the NFTs, buy all the NFTs. You now want to participate in Axie Infinity, and you need to buy one of the NFTs. You have to pay a lot of money to be able to just participate and have one of the better NFTs out there that can earn a lot of money. So in order to fix that problem, you have the gaming guilds where you can actually rent different products, right? Which is a very awesome solution for people that do want to play but don't have the money to pay thousands of dollars to even participate, to get started with it. So that only makes sense, right? That's why I picked Good Games Guild. It's still very new, but they don't only focus on the only on being a, got a blackout here for a second. They don't only focus on being a guild, but they focus on a little bit more than just that, right? So we look at the website Good Games Guild here. Good Game Guilds is a gaming hub that aims to create the largest virtual world economy by optimizing its owned assets, right? So the owned assets are of people that hold the NFTs, etc. So they're pretty ambitious. Obviously, if they want to be the biggest in the world, they have a long way to go. So this one here, you can apply to earn. We're in favor of the idea that our users deserve the finer things. Everyone can earn money from gaming, apply as our scholars, and get right to play and earn. So you obviously want to play, become games, and earn money with it. But the more cool thing about this, in my opinion, is rent to earn. If you don't have time to play the game, you just rent out your NFT, and that can be used by these scholars that do play the game, and you will get a portion of the reward from it. And of course, stake to earn. You can stake your Good Games Guild tokens. You get rewarded with a couple of different things. Participate in the DAO, for example. So their roadmap is not really that special, not really that detailed, but they've already got all of this in place. This is already set up, I believe. They have the token sale done. Their dashboard is ready. Their staking reward is ready, I believe. Maybe not all of them. So this is not finished yet. So they're in the process of finalizing a lot of things. I always look for here we can check if the staking is online or not. I always look for new upcoming projects that have a lot of potential. Sure, it's a little bit riskier to get involved with it, but at least we do know that there's a lot of upside potential. Yeah, as you can see, the staking is live. Just a simple Good Games Guild single staking is 40% APR, which is decent. And if you stake it against BNB, which is a little bit more risky, of course, there's a 90x multiplier, 362 APR, which is pretty awesome. All right, cool. So then we get into the next thing of Good Games Guild is Good Games Labs. They're not only focusing on being that guild gaming guild, but they've also developed Good Games Labs, which is kind of like a launch pad, I guess. It's an incubator, and they help come up with new projects. So Good Games Guild itself has already come up with a couple of different games out there, but the cool thing is that if these games do well, Good Game Guild itself will obviously benefit from it. Same thing goes for Good Games Labs. If they incubate good promising projects and they do well, Good Game Guild itself will benefit from it. So Good Games Labs is an innovative program developed by Good Games Guild that aims at being an investment arm between the blockchain projects and the cryptocurrency community. So it'll act as an incubator for these startup projects. If you've watched all my previous videos, and if you know me a little bit, you know I really like launchpads and I really like IDOs. I've made a bunch of money on them so far. So I'm always looking for either new promising launchpads or launchpads that have a good entry point to participate in. And that's partly why I really like Good Games Guild, because they've come up with their incubator here. So they focus on a couple of different services. The coaching, right? So they provide training, mentoring, and education to these new projects that are going to come through Good Games Lab. So it's not like they're just going to launch a project for you, but they're going to help you with making proper tokenomics, do the market listings, and etc. So they're going to help new projects get off the ground properly. Networking, of course, they've established a proper network already with KOLs, exchanges, venture capitals, a bunch of different things. So they've got a opening for you. They can open up a couple of doors for you. Of course, investment, provide funding support, marketing. Good Games Guild has a very good marketing team behind them, so they can help with that, and then technical support, of course, as well. So apart from Good Games Guild itself as a gaming guild, they have a couple of other things that I believe are very useful for the whole ecosystem of Good Games Guild itself and the upside potential. So again, in my opinion, pretty good entry point here. I already hold a little bit of this. I'll probably buy in, if I'm lucky, it can go below the $6 again, and I'll buy in a large portion. All right, so there's two left. One of them is Altura and one of them is UFO Gaming. So I'm not gonna get into Gaming in too much depth. I'll be doing a separate video on this later on. Why? It's because again, UFO Gaming will start their own launchpad as well, and I'll be making a video on that a little bit. So if we look at UFO Gaming, the market cap is 727 million. It's gone up a lot today, 20% just today alone, which is awesome. But I think it did have a little bit of a dip. Yeah, here we go. So it did dip a little bit over the last couple of weeks. Of course, if you were before today, there was an awesome entry point. I think it still is pretty decent right now. Trading volume has almost doubled overnight, which is awesome. So UFO Gaming is a fully decentralized intergalactic social gaming token. Well, what does that mean? They just have a couple of different things. So they have Play to Earn Metaverse, Virtual Land, NFT Gaming, IDO Launchpad. They do a couple of different things. They've established their whole own ecosystem, really, but their market cap is I guess considerably high already compared to how far developed they are. They've been around since beginning of this year only, so they're not even a year old. They haven't done that much yet. There's a whole lot more to come from them, and their market cap is close to $1 billion already, which is awesome. So if you look at their website, I think it looks pretty cool, their website. So there's a Play to Earn Metaverse. Their games are a new gaming model taking the world by storm, which is obviously the whole Play to Earn crypto gaming scene. They're releasing that game later on. I think that game was called, what was it called? It's here, Super Galactic. We'll get their whitelist in a second. So Gaming X Blockchain, UFO Gaming will collaborate with traditional gaming companies to integrate them into the blockchain and develop new blockchain gaming features. Pretty simple. Virtual Land, they use Virtual Land just like with Sandbox. Each game has its own governing planet, which is then a piece of land. And this is Super Galactic. This will be their own game. They're releasing an NFT from it next year, and they got like the beta version of the game coming up next year as well. So here's the couple of different things they're going to focus on. Genesis NFTs, that'll be the first release coming up next year. Play to Earn will be for their game, of course. Rating system, breeding and trading characters. If you hold multiple NFTs, you can probably breed new ones coming up from having Gen 0 breeding Gen 1, Gen 2 NFTs and their NFT marketplace. We look at their roadmap. Here you can see that this has obviously happened. Launch phase, deploy contract audit. Here, this has just happened. This is what we're in right now. Light paper release, white paper release, partnership review, and tier 1 centralized exchange. If we look at where it's listed right now, it is listed here at Gate.io, KuCoin, and Uniswap MEXC. So it still has a lot to go. There could be a Binance listing coming through later on. Obviously, that's what they're looking for. That'll increase volume a lot. And then what's happening next year is the staking will happen. This is all going to be in Q1 2022. If they add up to the expectations and they keep their word, then they're going to release the staking, the NFT minting, the marketplace will unveil and will start. The breeding will start. Their game will have the better release, and they will start with the virtual land. This alone will be massive. This will have a massive attraction, massive attention to it, and will really kick off UFO. So you can expect a massive surge in Q1 if all these things do actually happen, right? And then after that, later on in 2022, the Dark Metaverse launch, the gaming studio, partnership review, new games launched through the UFO gaming platform, additional tier 1 exchanges. So you can definitely expect obviously Binance to come through next year, maybe Coinbase, and that'll be a massive gain in volume, right? So that's with UFO. As for an entry point, it did go up 20%. Right now, I wouldn't FOMO in there for no reason, but anything below the 30 here would still be a good entry point. I guess for me, if I would buy in even more, if I'm going to get an additional more, I'll probably be looking at 20 to 23 at this point to buy in more. But again, I already hold some, so I'm sitting pretty comfortably in profit with UFO Gaming. And then lastly, we have Altura. So again, Altura is not a game itself, but market cap sitting just below 100 million, very small still. So it's not a game itself, but it provides like tools and infrastructure for gamings, for crypto games to create and distribute smart NFTs. So build with a smart contract on it, right? So if you look at Altura, pretty simple. I think they explain it somewhere here. Yeah, here. Smart NFTs are NFTs with dynamic properties that can change based on certain conditions. Smart NFTs are the next step to making decentralized in-game items mainstream and offer a massive range of potential opportunities that are not possible with traditional NFTs. What it just means is pretty simple. You want to be able to transact and put over different NFTs in the easiest and smartest possible way. Because everything is built on a blockchain, it is easy to distribute, right? The whole NFT market is massive, of course. They have their own marketplace, NFT marketplace as well, but the whole NFT marketplace has been in millions and millions of dollars just in 2021 alone. So it's definitely not going to go anywhere. We're definitely going to have NFTs part of our life, I guess, especially within the crypto world, right? So Altura is just solving a couple of problems there that is going to allow games to distribute NFTs easier to their players and players to other players, right? Sitting at around 16 cents right now is pretty low. I traded Altura pretty successfully here in between of the 25 to 35 mark. Here I did a couple of swing trades, quick trades, and made good money on it. As you can see, after that it dropped down quite a lot. But we look at Altura, there's a lot of potential left. Their marketplace is still in development. And if you look at the prices, because it's still so small, not that known yet, the numbers, the prices here are very, very low. Compare it to a OpenSea, for example, where one NFT gets sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and there's tons of trades done every single day. Here you can see top monthly sellers, $7,000, $6,000, $6,000. So that's almost nothing, right? And the amount of sales being made here is barely anything. Cool thing is that the owner of Altura made a statement where he said that he's slowing down with things a little bit. So if you look around at other crypto projects, not just crypto gaming, but all sorts of crypto projects out there, you can definitely see that some of them are moving a little bit too fast for their own good, and they come up with, they come across a bunch of problems that aren't really good for their name, that aren't good for the investors, that just bring in a little bit of disbelief, I guess, in the future of these projects, etc., and just a lot of headaches for the team. So what he said was, look, because of that, we're taking things slowly. We don't want to face too many problems along the way, and find out that we have to take a step back later on, or that we missed something early stages where it gives massive problems at a later stage. So if you look at Altura itself and the amount of news that's out there, the amount of different things that they're coming up with, it's not that much, not that aggressive, I guess. But the whole potential as Altura itself, when the crypto market or the crypto gaming market is booming, is going up, the NFT market is going up, the potential for Altura itself will be awesome, will be massive. So as for an entry point, I think for me this is fine. I can definitely expect and see it drop lower to the 13, 12 cent mark where it's been a couple of times over the last couple of days. But as for the future, as for the longer term, as for 2022, anything below the 20 cents will probably be a good entry point. All right, so that's my top 5 pick of crypto gaming projects that aren't actually games, but are more projects that are established within the crypto gaming world. I do invest in like play to earn games itself as well, like actual play to earn games. I might do a video on that in the next couple of weeks. But other than that, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you could hit the subscribe button so you're updated on the next upcoming videos, I'd appreciate it as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.